Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. Definitely hopping in for the week, setting the standard. I don't know about you guys, but I encounter so many people who Monday is just like not their thing, and it's for whatever reason it's like the dreaded day of the week. So I like to make Monday my attack it day, my day when I just come in, tear it apart, make it happen, and usually that all starts with my Sunday night. And what's funny is that it touches into the topic that I have for today, where in my life at least I have systems and I have things in place that I've set up so that I keep myself fairly consistent. But what happens to, I feel like a lot of us, maybe it happens to you guys as well, is we tend to drift. And what I mean by drifting, just to kind of define it for you, is drifting is when for example, New Year's resolution. You start out, you know, whether it's fitness or profession or your personal life, relationships, things like that. You set out and you're gung ho, you're amped up, and you're just all about it. You're on. You're like, I'm in this. I'm 100%. This is going to happen this year. Fast forward 60 to 90 days when the monotony of things kick in and it's just the day-to-day activities, things popping up, and you've been working on it, but you miss a day here. Or you miss a deadline, or you miss this opportunity to deliver more value to the relationship, whatever it might be, and then you're like, oh, no big deal, I'll stay on track, and then it happens again, and again, and again. And the way I best like to show the quick example is, if you've ever heard of how planes fly, they never fly in a straight line. So if you have a plane leaving from New York City all the way to Los Angeles, it does not fly in a straight line. It's constantly zigzagging and course correcting. This thing called drifting happens to all of us. It happens to me. I believe it happens to you guys as well. Hopefully I'm not alone on this. But in our lives, we have things come up that kind of take us a little off path, and then we just correct and come back onto it. And most recently, I had a period in my life where I didn't realize how hardcore I was drifting. I was drifting pretty bad. I let my health slack. Morning, Josh. I let my health kind of wane. I had let my adrenals were just shot. My workouts in the gym were slacking. My definitely relationships were starting to get at threads, and it's all because I let my system start to fall apart, and this thing that I call drifting started to happen, where you just kind of come off kilter from these goals and things that you've set up. And because of that, I was able to catch myself definitely in the nick of time, and I just got everything back on track, back into lock. And I wanted to share this today because I feel like it's something that maybe some of you other guys go through, guys and ladies go through. And how does this happen? So again, touching on the monotony of it, where you have you've set up this New Year's resolution, or you've had this breaking point in your life where you've had a breakthrough and you're like, it's now or never, time to step up, I'm going all in. But time happens. And usually with time happening, the inspiration starts to fade, and we need the motivation of activity. Morning, Jasmine. We need the motivation of constant activity to keep us going through. But life happens, things happen, and things can become monotonous. So, and then also confusion. So if we've set up a task for ourselves, say that we want to lose 40 pounds or 60 pounds, or we want to increase our income by 10% this year. So things like that. And sometimes, like for weight loss instance, the first 20, 30 pounds that you lose in that 40 to 60 weight loss it's going to come off quick. But as the things that we've been working are no longer working, confusion sets in. And because of confusion, we don't have the focus, and we lose our sense of drive because it no longer makes sense. It's no longer coming easy, and we're having to put more work in, but we really don't know where we're going with it. We don't have a roadmap, so to speak. And the things that we knew, we've already kind of used up because the progress has stopped. Our success towards our goal has kind of arrested, so to speak. And then also, lack of inspiration. So I kind of touched on that in the confusion, but inspiration, and I always like tell people avoid like inspiration junkiness, where you kind of You need that motivational video, every couple hours, things like that, because you can get, I don't know about you guys, but I can get trapped on that for a few hours at a time. And I have to kind of set my time aside for it. But inspiration is something that helps to motivate and move us through those boundaries, through the confusion. And a lack of inspiration is usually due to time and not reflecting on our goal or the reason why. So I'm just listing out the reasons of how this happens, how this drifting, where we have our goal that we've set up and we just kind of come off track a little bit because of life sets in and time sets in, things like that. And then also accountability. If you're like me and some of the goals you've set up, it's really just like icing on the cake type of goal, where you've really hit this, like the status quo. You're good, but by all standards. You can look around, whether it's your relationships, your income. We all know people in our lives who their relationships are horrible. We all know people in our lives who have amazing relationships. But usually when we're in that middle ground, sometimes it can be easy to go, well, I'm already here, I'm good. This is just icing on the cake. So when those tough times happen and that drifting starts to happen, it's easy to go, to hit the snooze button and sleep in the next hour and go, you know what, it's Saturday. I earned it. It was a hard week. I don't need to work out today. Things like that, where you're there, but we haven't accomplished our goal. But that middle ground, that status quo, so to speak, is telling us we're good enough, even though we haven't hit our goals. So again, this is how that drifting happens. And just to redefine it for anybody who's just hopping on, is drifting is when we've established a goal, we've established something that we've wanted, we've had a breakthrough, and we decided to move forward on this. But whether it's through monotony, confusion, lack of inspiration, or lack of accountability, we start to wane, and we start to wane our efforts and move off track, sort of like a plane as it's flying. We need to course correct it. So solutions. I never like to bring a problem to you guys without having some kind of way that you can apply it into your life and make it really have traction and help you to move forward. First things first is something I like to call the 3-3-5-3 rule. And this is, I stopped doing this. And for me, when I was coming off track and I was experiencing my drift earlier this year, I just had gotten away from it. And really the thing that I had told myself is in my morning routine, I was like, oh, this takes too long. But it was the cornerstone. It was a critical thing that helped me. And like I've always said, things work differently for other people. But this 3-3-5-3 rule is amazing to me. I actually learned it from the late Charlie Majors, amazing doctor who passed away earlier this year, served tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people, and changed so many lives. But he had this rule called the 3-3-5-3 rule. And basically what it is, just grab a pen and paper, or just punch away notes on your phone. The first three is 3 goals. And these 3 goals are things that, if they happened in the next 365 days, they would completely change your life. Now, they should be reach goals. They should definitely be something that you have to apply yourself to attain, but they're not unreasonable. So it's not 10 times your current income. Really, science, all the research that I've done, books that I've read, our minds can really only wrap around 3 to 4 times our current income. And it's just like a feasible. And then as we go, if you do accomplish that before that 365 days, amazing, kudos to you. Then you reestablish those goals. But to set off, you want to have goals that push you, but that your mind can actually wrap itself around of like, I can actually do this. And you definitely don't want the shoe-in goals where it's like, I can do that on a Tuesday. You want something that's going to stretch you. So that's that first 3. The first 3 are goals that in the next 365 days will radically change your life and kind of shift things forward for you. The second 3, so the first 3 never change until you accomplish them. Every single day you're rewriting them at the top of the page. And I have, just show you guys real quick, I have my journal here. So this is today. I have my 3-3-5-3 right here. And I have another game here that I'll talk about on another Zoom, or another Facebook Live. But it's you write those down every day. And whether your belief systems are stating them out loud or whatever, but just writing them out and reflecting on them each and every day. So those never change until you accomplish them. The second number 3, is going to be 3 action steps that you're going to take that day towards each one of those. So first one being Like say you wanna lose weight. Well, actually, sorry, that's actually a bad one. So say you want to raise your income, and your current job doesn't allow for it. You've met your mark. There's really no way to move up in your current situation, kind of like a dead end road, so to speak, or something like that. Or you need training, like you need to go back to school, something like that. So you've written out that goal. What's your action step today? Today I'm going to apply to my dream job, or apply to the job that I know will begin the steps forward. Or today I'll make that phone call. Or today, so it's just one action step that is achievable within that day. Sometimes they're going to be a little bit of the toad where you're swallowing that you really don't want to do it, but it's just that action step to move you forward. So for your number one is going to be your action step. Number 2 is going to be one action step towards your number 2 goal, and number 3 is going to be that first action step towards that third goal. And each and every day, you're going to accomplish each one of those 3, so it'll move you towards your goal. 3 things with this actually. What it's going to do is each day you're going to be taking actions towards your goal. That means that even if 1 year from today you have not accomplished your goal, you are 365 steps closer to accomplishing your goal. And that right there off the bat cuts away at the drifting, because if you're taking action every single day, I can almost guarantee you, as long as your level of action on those action steps are pushing you each day, they're not just smooth and easy, like it's something that you have to actually put effort towards, I can almost guarantee you it will not take the 365 days to accomplish your goal. I can almost guarantee it. For me, it's almost never taken that whole year when every single day I'm taking action. 2, it cuts away at drifting, because each day you get the mental reward of checking it off. You've checked off the activity, it's one more step forward, and then that night, preparing for the next day, you write out the next step for the next day. That'll constantly keep you moving forward 7 days a week, every day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, you're moving towards that goal, okay? And then the last one is if you don't accomplish the goal. So I find, at least for myself, maybe you guys as well, that in my own opinion, sometimes when we have an imaginary goal, like it isn't on paper and it's something that we just want, but we haven't made it tangible by putting it on paper and reflecting on it each and every day. Like say someone who says, I want to go back to school. Like someone who, they whether for retraining or something like that, they want to expand their knowledge, they want to go back to school. 5 years later, they still want to go back to school. Because they're not taking actionable steps. It's just something that they want. So the third one is, if you don't take action on that day, you move it to the next day. And it's like a reminder. And for me, like I have this whole thing where I'm like, if it goes past day 2, I suck. So it's a mental like jousting with yourself of, I got to accomplish this. I didn't accomplish it yesterday. Today, it's obviously in the morning right now, but it's 6 o'clock. I got to knock this out. So it creates a sense of urgency of moving you forward. And then the 5 is 5 things that you do each and every day that will keep you afloat, so to speak, fill your cup. For me, like it's reading my goals, reflecting on my goals, working out every single day, a task that I do for my business each and every day just consistently to keep me on point, my lives, my posts that I'm doing right now, vision casting my future. I'm big into attracting to me what I want, reading for 30 minutes, and then just studying. Like I have some schooling that I'm doing, some certifications that I want to get, and each and every day I'm studying and pounding away. So those are 7, but sticking with 5 help you to keep on track. But these things are something that you do every single day. So you could be saying I love you to your spouse. It could be reading your Bible. It could be reading 30 minutes like mine. Anything that keeps you afloat, fills your cup, and helps you to be on point. For me, definitely, morning body. For me, definitely, that consistent daily workout helps to keep me on point. And then the last 3. So we're doing 3, 3, 5, and 3. And again, this is just a tool, offering it up, got value for you guys to actually practically put this into place and help you to keep from drifting. The last 3 is gratitude. So each and every day we want to be reflecting on 3 things that we're grateful for. And this is most important. Couple reasons is just perspective. When you have something, when you're able to, at the beginning of the day or at the end of your day, reflect on what you're grateful for from that day or the day prior, or just in your life in general, it sets a perception of, when you have gratitude and you're full and you realize that you have so much in life. One perspective, you're willing to give to others. You want to offer value to others, and you want to help others improve their life so that they can experience the same gratitude as you. And second, if you are in fear mode, like some of us, we go through tough times. I've definitely been through tough times. I am very much against the whole Mr. Perfect viewpoint. I've been through amazing struggles in my life, and I know people who have gone through so much more than I could ever imagine what it would be like. But framing what you're grateful for, even in those tough situations, helps to move away from that fear, move away from that doubt, move away from that insecurity of knowing, I have all these things going on in my life, but I'm able to focus on what I do have. I'm able to be grateful for the things that I do have in place, and it helps you also to become aware of resources and things that you have to help keep your spirit up and help keep you moving forward. So that system was amazing to help me come back into line and get my really lock in my daily routines to keep from that drifting. And again, for anybody just hopping on, it's drifting is when we've set up goals, we've had a breakthrough in our lives, and we have, we started out of the gate strong, but for whatever reason, life just has us coming off path, and we need to correct, like a plane flying from one location to another, just constantly course correcting to keep ourselves on track. And then number two is, I do it for myself, daily, weekly, and monthly check-ins, yearly check-ins. So at the end of each day, at the end of each week, at the end of each month, and yearly, checking in with yourself and going, how's my progress? Am I moving towards, am I a 10 out of 10 in these aspects of my life, my relationships, my financial, my physical? Am I a 10 out of 10? What do I need to change that to keep yourself on track? Also, number three is an accountability person or an accountability group. So this can be amazing because it's, like I said before, when we were going on, what creates this drift is that accountability. If you have a goal that's icing on the cake and nobody else in the world really knows what your goal is, it's easy to let yourself down. It's easy to go, it's like yesterday. We had the time change. I didn't change my clocks. I set my clock for the time that I normally get up, and I got up an hour earlier rather than an hour later, and it was Sunday, and it was time change when you have people sleeping in. It's hard to do those things if you don't have somebody keeping you accountable, if you don't have somebody else in the world who knows your goal, knows your why, knows why you need it, knows why you're going for it, and they can help to encourage you and drive you. So whether that's a group of people or an individual that is going to keep you accountable, and that possibly you look up to, somebody who inspires you in that area. So like if it's fitness, it's a personal trainer. If it's business, it's a business coach. Somebody who whether you're hiring them or there was just a personal acquaintance or family member or anything like that, somebody who will, on your tough days when you're down, you can call up and you can go, I'm having a rough time, and they can go, you want this. You told me why you want it, and they can go back over it with you and get you re-inspired and refocused. That helps. That was amazing to me. I'm lucky enough to have an amazing wife who keeps me on track, and also some mentors and things like that I can reach out to whenever I'm having those tough times, and they help to bring me back into line and stop that drift. And then, so just to recap for today, drifting. It's when we've set up a goal, we've had a breakthrough, and we want to make change in our lives, but for whatever reason, our efforts start to wane, whether it's time, the monotony of things, whether it's confusion, lack of inspiration, or accountability. We just have that where our life, it just kind of goes off track. We need those systems to put us back into place. So I went over the 3-3-5-3 rule. If you guys would need to rewind, you can definitely write that out for yourself. If you need, message me, let me know, and I can hop on the phone and go over it with you. Check in with yourself daily, weekly, monthly, and yearly on your progress to make sure that you're heading in the right direction. All these things might sound mundane. They might sound like overkill, but I guarantee you life happens. And I think you can ask anybody. Wonderful exercise somebody talked about the other day that helped to kick me back into gear is if you want an exercise, go to a nursing home. for 10 minutes. Volunteer at a nursing home or if you can, or if you have family members. Go and attend and just talk to some people. And the number one thing is regret. So even though it seems like overkill, it might seem like monotony, it might seem like just drudgery day in and day out doing these consistent activities, it helps to move you towards the things that will leave you without regret at the end. That will help you to accomplish the things that you want in your life. So that's my big driver for me, is the thing that I reflect on a daily basis. And then, so those three things that we went through, the check-ins, the accountability, all that. So, this being said, my goal with these videos is to deliver more and more value to you guys. Obviously, I had my Step It Up, Raise Your Standards on Friday, and I didn't like the video. And I raised my standards for today, and I just tackled it and made it happen. I want to consistently bring you guys more and more value to help you put in the change that you need to move your life forward in whatever area that you want. So one thing that I've been hearing about, and I've had my mentors kind of touch base with me, is I want to create a Facebook group for us. And what I mean is, I'm going to continue to do these videos on a daily basis on my private page. But for those of you who have been listening and you want to take the next step, obviously there's another level of commitment for that. And what that is I want to create a Facebook page, and I want to have you guys where if you opt in, if you message me, let me know, either comment below, message me privately. I'm going to give you guys access to the page, and what's on the page is literally it's going to be a group of us all who, in whatever manner or fashion, we're trying to move our life forward, whether it be business, relationships, physical, spiritual, some kind of change in our life. And it helps you create that accountability group. Helps you create a group of people who are supporting you and like you are trying to move their life forward, who can rally around you on your rough days, and who can, clap for you on your good days, on your days when you make accomplishments. You have a group of people who are like, yeah, because sometimes in life we have those people around us who, the crab bucket syndrome, where they're not exactly clapping for us when we win. So it's refreshing to have that group of people who are there for you when you win, and they're there for you when you lose, and they help you pick yourself back up and move forward. On the page, it's still going to have business tips and life tips and production tips like I do on my page here, but they're going to be more in depth. They're going to be more raw and real. They're going to be specific to definitely if there's 90% of the group is in one area. Obviously, we're going to double down and focus on some of that. Obviously, we'll move from different areas: relationship, spiritual, financial, physical, all those things. Also, I'm a firm believer that if your health isn't on point, your health is the critical leveraging point to anything else in your life. And if you don't believe me, try letting your health go and see what happens to your relationships, see what happens to your family, see what happens to your financial, see what happens to your spiritual. Our health is everything. So in the page, I'm going to have workout guides, just general fitness. If you guys need more in depth, whether you have injuries or something like that, you're more than welcome to message me, and I can design one for you specifically. Also, I'm going to have nutrition guides. So things to keep your energy up. Food gives us energy. Food gives us life. And if we're putting crap in, we get crap out. If we're putting good in, we get good out. So definitely going to have varying budget levels, but just things that you can put into your body to keep your energy up, to keep you moving forward, and not have you weighing on yourself. And then we're going to have weekly check-ins. So anybody who goes, I'm throwing a lot of value at you guys. Anybody who joins the group, let's say definitely the first 25 people who join, every week you're going to be able to hop on the phone with me for 15-30 minutes and have a check-in where I'm literally going to, if you're open to it, if it's something that you want, it's definitely not mandatory for the page, but if you need that one-on-one accountability, where we can hop on the phone together, I can check in with you, and even if it's just, hey, the goal that you have is very personal, and maybe you don't want to share with anybody else, but just to hop on the phone and have somebody to bounce ideas off of, anything like that. So that's that 15 to 30 minutes of time each and every week that we can hop on the phone. Definitely need to keep it a consistent time, so a time that works for me, works for you. See if you're a good fit for that. And then one time a week, we're going to have a Zoom. And what a Zoom is for any of you who aren't familiar with it, is it's kind of like FaceTime or like Facebook Live, but where I can see you and you can see me. You can always put up a picture of yourself, if you don't want to do the live, if you're doing something, doing dinner or running the kids around, what have you. But you can pull it up, and it's a group setting where we'll be going over some specific topic for that week. So again, a lot of value going to be crammed into this group. But I wanted to step it up. And Friday, when I made that video about raising your standards, it's funny. Sometimes when we teach things in life, our life kind of goes, "Do you really know what you're talking about?" And I just didn't like the video. And this is me raising my standards, throwing as much value at you guys as possible, hoping to help you as much as possible. So again, this group is going to be a private group, so if you want access to it, just message me. If you look it up online, you are on Facebook, you will not be able to find it because it's going to be specific to us. It's specific to the group and where we're trying to move forward with things. And I hope to see you guys there. I hope that today's message offered value to you. I hope that I was able to give you specific steps that you can take to combat that, because if you're like me and you're trying to move forward, one day you look up and you're just like, oh, I'm 100 yards off from where I wanted to be. I need to move myself back into line. And putting these things into place helps to keep us on track. And I know that, first and foremost, because when I stopped doing these things, I went right off track. And it helped to bring me right back into line, and now I'm moving and grooving and making my life work. So I hope this was a value for you guys today. Hope to see you on the page. Again, if you want to be part of that page, message me, let me know. And make it a wonderful Monday. Kick its butt. Today might be Monday. We got a world of people around us who don't believe in Monday being a real day. They hate it. It's just, they're grumpy. Be happy today for no reason. Be energetic and productive today for no reason. Make today happen for you. A Monday is a Monday, a Tuesday is a Tuesday, a Friday is a Friday. If you want to move your life forward, 7 days a week has to be some activity moving yourself forward. So tackle today, make Monday happen for you, and I will see you guys tomorrow.